We've got a huge weekend for the cruise restart, especially for Carnival Cruise Line, as the Carnival Glory and the Carnival Dream return to service this weekend in 2 different ports. We've got news on that. Plus, we've got an update on testing and our thoughts on testing. It seems like it's getting easier. It seems like islanders are able to test much easier than they have been in the last several weeks. And finally, bye-bye Canada. Could cruise ships going to Alaska skip Canada forever? Let's talk about it right now on Island Time. A big hello and happy Saturday, all you Islanders. I hope you're having a great weekend. We have so many Islanders getting on cruise ships this weekend. My goodness. A lot of you have messaged me and said, hey, I've got last minute offers. We put out videos earlier in the week for cruisers who wanted free cruises. If you messaged me, I gave you a phone number. I gave you an extension of someone who works for Carnival. It's no joke. They booked it. JB and Robin, you're going on the Mardi Gras. I know Mike is going on the Vista. People they're cruising, and some of them are cruising for absolutely free. Have a great vacation, and if you don't mind, if you can, keep us updated on your experiences. We would love to share your experiences with other Islanders. We hope you have a big weekend planned, but let's get to the news because there is a lot of it. First off, glory, glory, hallelujah. That is right, the Carnival Glory. She's in New Orleans. She has been in New Orleans. She had a mission to help with house rescue workers there for the last couple of weeks. Yes, it did result in cruises being canceled that people had paid for, they were looking forward to. For the most part, they moved those cruises to the Carnival Vista, or they moved it to today, this inaugural cruise for the Carnival Glory. We are so happy to see her returning. She's there in New Orleans. It's her first voyage in a year and a half. It really, really is. Carnival has used the Glory there in New Orleans, like we mentioned, to house thousands of rescue workers, and that mission is complete. So we're going to see the Glory today return to paying passengers. She actually sails tomorrow. We will also see the Dream. The Dream is going to sail tomorrow out of Galveston, and Galveston's doing awesome. When you look at this cruise restart, and Galveston being the first one back for Carnival, okay, Miami was a day behind, July 3rd and July 4th, but they have the Vista, the Breeze already, and now they're going to add the Dream out of Galveston. What a huge success story for Galveston. Of course, Royal Caribbean is sailing out of there as well. But the Dream will be there. Beautiful Dream class ship, the new paint job. I know that so many are excited to see her, and we are so excited to see her back on the water on a 6-day cruise. This marks number 11. Number 11, the 11th ship for Carnival in the Great Cruise Restart. We can't wait. Keep us posted if you're cruising on the Glory and the Dream this week. Now, testing with Carnival. We've had a couple of videos this week. We broke the news, within minutes of receiving the email from Carnival and signed by Christine Duffy regarding testing and some of the changes of testing and the encouragement, really, from Carnival and Royal Caribbean's doing the same to use the at-home self-test. Remember, those tests, they're very particular. It has to be a telemed test. It cannot be the self-administered test that you just do yourself. Nobody's watching. I want to make that clear because some people are confused by it. If you buy the test from Carnival or from Royal Caribbean, you can use those tests that come with it. It has instructions on how to administer, how to make sure someone is watching you administer the test. You get your results in 15 minutes. Carnival is pushing for that. And I also want to make clear as well that Carnival, unlike previously reported, they are not planning to have set-up stations for testing for vaccinated passengers. I know they shared the idea. All of us love the idea of, hey, we'll just wait till we get there and we'll get tested when we get there. Carnival said it would be a little while before that came along, and they've changed it. Here's the quote from that email from Christine Duffy. While we had previously raised the possibility of more on-site testing at our terminals, the logistics of making this service widely available to a large number of guests does not make this a viable option. So they're not going with that. So if you are dependent on waiting till you got there, maybe you're cruising at the end of September, you're cruising in October, and you thought, oh yeah, by the time I cruise, they're going to have testing on site. They're not. Really look at these at-home tests. Look at CVS and Walgreens. Although I'm telling you, I've mentioned it before, they're both close to me. They're not testing any day. They haven't tested in months. So have your plan, okay? And finally, we have crews that could impact cruising in Alaska. We have seen since the cruise restart and the restart in Alaska that ships leaving from the United States in Seattle, Washington, and it can be even eventually out of California, that head to Alaska, they've been able to bypass the stop in Canada that so many of us have become accustomed to. We do that because of the Passenger Vessel Services Act. It's a 75-year-old act that requires you have a stop in a foreign port, but temporarily we've got around this. The Senate and the House agreed, the Biden administration signed into law an exemption for now, but U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski from Alaska is going to introduce a bill into Congress next week that would permanently allow foreign flag ships, which of course include cruise lines, to sail to Alaska without the requirement of a stop in Canada. We're going to see that's the way it's happening right now. They want to make it long term. So this shortened 2021 Alaskan cruise season from Seattle, it's underway, and it has been, and they're not going by currently the Passenger Vessel Services Act. And so they're not stopping in Canada right now because Canada would not let them stop. Canada's going to let cruise ships stop again in November, although there's not many cruises to Alaska taking place in November, so it's going to be pointless. But Murkowski said, while the Passenger Vessel Services Act is well-intentioned to protect American jobs and businesses, it had the unintended consequence of putting Alaskan businesses at the very mercy of the Canadian government. She said that this past week, and so she's going to introduce, and we're going to see if it passes. It would be awesome if it passes. I think there's support for the bill. We'll see if it passes. It will take a couple of weeks to get through all the ropes that it has to jump through, but we'll keep an eye on it. And for those of you who cruise out of Alaska, it could be something that's really, really good, not having to stop in Canada. All of you cruising this week, have a great week. We will be back tomorrow, and we will finally be live tomorrow night, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Join us, Island Time Live. We will talk to you then. Have a great weekend, everybody.